welcome back to the program. Welcome back to the big picture. We are joined now by Jacquie Walker's husband, Mike Beato. And Mike, we understand that your courtship of Jacquie is a great story. Everyone always, like, she wanted me to tell how I met my Michael before, but I want to know how you met Jacquie.
You want my version or Jackie's version?
We might
Mine
get,
is so much better.
we might get both. Let me see.
Mine's much shorter. Well, it was in Rochester, New York, where I grew up. I grew up in Fairport, outside of Rochester. And I had been watching the news. I was a systems analyst at Eastman Kodak at the time. And I was watching television for about a year when Jacquie was on, and I'd watch her on the news. And I saw her. She's, very pretty. I knew she was single. And after about a year, I got up the nerve to look up the phone number of the station in the phone book and call up WROC and ask for Jacquie Walker. And of course, they transferred me to her. And I said, "Hi, Jacquie. My name's Mike Beato. You don't know me, but I think we might hit it off. I think we might be good together. And how about, a cup of coffee or going out for a drink or something like that?" And she gave me the brush off. She said, I'm really way too busy. She was working. She was at work. So I said, well, I'll call you later when you're not as busy. And okay, click. So a couple hours later, same night, called her back. I said, "Hi, I'm Mike Beato. I'm calling back." And I started telling her about myself a little bit. I work at Kodak. I'm a systems analyst. And I said, if you look in the phone book, you'll see my name. I told her how to spell it, B-E-A-T-O. And I said, you'll actually see two Michael Beatos. One is me and one is my father. We have the same name. And so after a while, she relented and agreed to meet me, as we usually say, at a well-lit restaurant for a Sunday brunch, which lasted about 4 hours. And that was in 1982. So it's been 42 years. So
your persistence really paid off.
Apparently so, yes.
You didn't think he was a stalker. You found out he wasn't a stalker, or
Well,
oh no!
if you, in my version of that story, I'm at work. I get off the 6 o'clock news. Phone rings. I've been watching you for about a year now. And I think we'd be very good together. And I was like, and that was before we knew the word stalker, but we knew, I got to get rid of this guy. Click. Well, he calls back then. And he kept talking and talking, as he said. And the more he talked, the more normal he sounded to me. And I think the clincher was when he said, look in the phone book. There's my name and my father's name, and there's his address and his phone number. And I thought, if he were an axe murderer or something terrible, would he tell me where his father lived? and that kind of, so that was why I decided to meet him for brunch.
Good move, good thinking. Now, tell us a little bit about your family.
My family?
No, your family together.
Our family together. Well, we have 2 sons.
I was going to say the sons, who I know.
Yes, and our older son's an attorney. His office is in Washington, D.C. He's a partner in a law firm there. And our younger son works for NYU in administration. And the younger son is married, and he has a little 4.5-year-old, our grandson.
Superhero, Casey.
And another grandson on the way in August, so we're looking forward to that. And
you didn't tell me your son was at NYU, which is where I went.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. I didn't know that.
Okay, we're not talking about me, but yes, that's where I went to law school.
Honey, you have a great story to tell.
Yes, but Jacquie, on a more serious note, a few years ago, you publicly battled and overcame breast cancer, and a situation that I know changed both of your lives. And sharing that experience, which you did, was very meaningful to many other women and many people in the community. And I'm sure it impacted both of you in many ways. Can we talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. And I'm certainly not alone in being diagnosed with breast cancer. But, you know, as a very public person, my first instinct, our first instinct as we talked about it, was not to tell anyone. I'll get through this, we'll get through this together, and we won't tell anyone. Well, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah.
We went to, you know, many trips to Roswell during that time.
Being a public person.
And so many people would see us there. Of course, you know, things that happen in the hospital are confidential with the staff and that kind of thing.
Right.
But all the people who were going there for treatment would recognize me, and they would, you know, some realized I was there for my own treatment. Some thought I was there to do a story or whatever.
Right.
But everybody wanted to talk about their particular situation. And it really was it was very touching, but it also told us we could not keep this a secret. This is not a secret. And how can we best get through this and help others at the same time? Because it was clear to us that, you know, people needed to know about this. Women needed to know to get their mammograms. My cancer was discovered through a mammogram. And you know, that's how it works. You've got to keep up your appointments and your mammograms. So we decided to be very public with it. And let me say this in relation to Mike. This is not a journey that a woman can generally go alone. You need support. You need people around you to help you in many different ways. And Mike was certainly that support.
Well, we would often say, you know, as we're going through it afterwards, gee, how do single women do this? You know, because there's so much for the recovery, and you know, there's a lot that you have to do, and
even physical things that you need help with.
So
It's very not only helpful but encouraging that, you know, to deal with it as a family and to be able to share it with other people. As you said, they were going to find out anyway, so you might as well just come out and use it in a positive way, which is what you did. Speaking of the public and the community, both of you have done so many things for so many activities and groups and community groups, especially Jackie, and you've been so active in matters that you care about, you know, for organizations that you care about. And I've seen you all the time with Jackie, you know, on weekends and nights. How did you pull that off? How did you manage that, both of you?
how'd you do it? I don't know.
You know,
I think with your full career, with the family,
I feel so strongly that those of us who are in a position such as ours, that we are obligated to help and serve others in any way you can think of. And one of the wonderful things about my job over these decades, a blessing, I consider it a blessing, that we are exposed to so many opportunities to serve others. You know, from you know, even doing a fashion show or emceeing a dinner or emceeing a walk, a fundraising walk. I mean, there's 100 different ways that you can do good in this community. We happen to have the opportunity to do that very easily for us. It's become such a part of our life. I think it changed the course of our lives together if we weren't doing all these public events or serving the community in various ways.
Absolutely, it definitely, it's changed my life, our life together, and it's the opportunities that Jackie's career has provided. And I'm totally supportive of that. I mean, it's been great, and plus we get to meet a lot of you know, really interesting, great people, and the causes there's so many good causes out there. So if we can do a little bit to help some of them, I feel honored to be part of that.
I have adopted the Teddy Roosevelt philosophy, and you may have heard me say it before, but I feel strongly about it. He said, do what you can with what you have where you are. That means anybody can do good wherever they are in whatever way they can. But we need to be focused on doing good for others, because there's so much out there in the world that needs a little help. You know, you may be the person, or the person watching, you may be the person that can provide that goodness.
Okay, now here's your big chance, both of you, to give marital advice. And everybody listening is thinking, how do they manage to stay together? What's the secret to stay together
Oh, my
with the same
gosh.
person for 40-something years?
What
okay?
is
Well-
your secret?
Now, okay, is this going to be a his and hers story, or okay?
Well, I can tell you, I get asked that sometimes by people. I've become, the last 5 or 6 years, a wedding officiant. So I've officiated quite a few weddings.
Me too.
As Penny
And
has too.
I
yeah.
know, that's why I thought you'd find that interesting.
I do.
But couples of all ages, from younger couples to couples our age. So it's interesting to talk to people that it might be their first marriage, it might be their second or even third marriage. But I had one young couple say they asked me because they knew I had
Good example.
this great, and I thought, wow, what a compliment that is. So
Well, what's your advice?
just-
We're out of time.
Okay, tell us before it's too late.
I just think that Jackie's always right. That's,
There you go.
That's
There you go.
great,
That's it right
That's,
there.
I give that advice too.
Okay.
I used to tell my Michael, just whatever I say is right, and that's all there is to
well,
it.
no,
And,
there's
I'm
there's
kidding.
actually a thing that I say when we disagree or where she's told me something that where I'm wrong and she's right. I'm going to say, I'm a big person. I'm going to show it to you right now. You were right. And,
You do that a lot.
We do that to each other.
And I can do it in one sentence.
Happy
Never
wedding.
let the sun set on a disagreement.
Oh, that's a good, right. Never go to bed angry, just keep on fighting. No, that's,
Something like that.
That's
No.
Joan Rivers. Legendary anchor Jacquie Walker and husband Michael Beato, thank you so much for spending time with us on The Big Picture. We hope that we will see you again very soon, and we'll be looking for you, Jacquie, on WBBZ.
We
I'm
love
Judge
it.
Penny Wolfgang. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.